Hello, and welcome to my DBAE lesson plan. I'm Jessica Green, and this is for 8th grade art. The unit topic is going to be 1-point and 2-point perspective. The big idea is vantage point and perspective. The medium is graphite pencil and paper. And the artist exemplars are Clara Peters, Filippo Brunicelli, Raphael, and Julie Hart Beers. The focus of this lesson is for the students to learn how to use the techniques of 1-point and 2-point perspective to draw an image. The students will be taught and shown example images of the vocabulary terms involved with creating linear perspective. They will also learn about the historical significance and invention of linear perspective and how to identify 1-point and 2-point perspective in works of art. The students will watch a demonstration video of me drawing using 1-point and 2-point perspective, and will learn how to use the necessary materials in constructing the image. For the assignment in this lesson, the students will craft 2 images using 1-point and 2-point perspective to showcase the skills that they learned. My goal for this lesson is for the students to have a clear understanding of 1-point and 2-point perspective and its historical relevance. I want them to be able to identify where a horizon line, vanishing point, and orthogonal lines exist within space in a painting or drawing. They should also be able to analyze if a drawing or painting uses the techniques of linear perspective or not. By the end of the lesson, my goal for the students is that they will be able to draw their own 2 images to display their thorough understanding of the lesson. So these are the techniques that I found strongly correlated with this lesson. The foundations are observation and perception, and the student expectations are that they evaluate the elements of art, including line, shape, color, texture, form, space, and value, as the fundamentals of art and personal artworks using vocabulary accurately. The learning objectives for this lesson are that students will evaluate elements of art such as line and space as the fundamentals of art and personal artwork using vocabulary accurately. Students will compare and contrast historical works of art to be able to identify the elements of linear perspective in space. Students will learn how to draw using the techniques 1-point and 2-point perspective to create realistic representations of space within a 2-dimensional picture plane. So for the prior knowledge of the introduction, the students will be assessed on their knowledge of drawing 3-dimensional shapes to draw using linear perspective. I show a quick example of drawing a cube to activate the students' prior experiences of drawing cubes. And for the anticipatory set, after watching the beginning of the video and comparing the historical works of art before and after the invention of linear perspective, students will talk with their peers and critique the aesthetic appearance of space within drawings and paintings. The discipline that is employed for the opening of this lesson is art criticism, as the students discuss and critique historical paintings. The students will be encouraged to go outside to find real-life examples of architecture, roads, or nature to draw from. They also have the option to arrange boxes together to make their own still life to draw from. This provides a hands-on activity for the learners and provides opportunities to discover art in everyday objects. The quiz over the vocabulary terms at the end of the lesson will give the students the opportunity to explain what they have taught from the lesson so far. The discussions will also allow the students to discuss what they have learned with each other, as well as the opportunity to learn from each other. As I meet with each student towards the end of the lesson, they will be able to explain what they have learned. The video goes into detail about the techniques used to create linear perspective. The students will use the tools that are taught in this video for their own assignment. For the assignment, the students will draw 2 images, with one of them using 1-point perspective and the other using 2-point perspective. The students are encouraged to draw architecture, hallways, boxes, buildings, etc. Coming up, you will see a link to the video of my teaching demonstration of how I would demonstrate the art skills needed for this lesson, and in it is included a list of supplies. So here are the definitions that the students are taught in this lesson. The definitions are horizon line, vanishing point, orthogonal lines, 1-point perspective, and 2-point perspective. I will measure the learner's progress by stopping the lesson periodically to make sure all of the students thoroughly understand the vocabulary terms and are on the same page. I will also require that the students take a short quiz over the vocabulary terms before they proceed with their assignment for the lesson. While the students are working on their assignment, I will walk around and meet with each student to discuss their ideas and provide feedback for their work. The students will be assessed on their knowledge of the lesson by completing a short quiz and completing 2 drawings that use 1-point and 2-point perspective. The quiz will measure the students' ability to evaluate the elements of art while using vocabulary terms accurately. The drawing assessment will assess what the student knows and has experienced as sources for examining, understanding, and creating original artworks. I will modify the lesson and accommodations for the individual student needs according to the mandated IEP or 504 plans. I have provided a modification for special needs students with developmental conditions such as Down syndrome and autism. They will be provided a worksheet with a picture of a long road that shows only half of it. On the other side of the image is where the students will mirror the image of the road to complete the picture. They will be provided colored pencils and markers to color the image with the freedom of creative expression. This assignment will ensure that the students are still efficiently evaluating the formal elements of line and space. The students will work independently throughout the lesson to take notes. At certain points in the lesson, the students will be divided into a small group room in Zoom to discuss an idea or a work of art. The assignment at the end of the lesson will be independent work as well to ensure that each student understands the lesson. This lesson will address spatial, logical, mathematical, and naturalist styles of learning. The approach to spatial learning will be provided by picture examples to develop a visual understanding of linear perspective. Logical mathematical learning will be provided by the precise measuring techniques used to craft an image using the rules of perspective. Naturalist learning will occur as the students are encouraged to draw from life, especially outside, for their assignment. And that's the end. Thank you so much for watching.